So my next guest has been demanding the release of this memo for weeks. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz. Congressman, good to see you tonight. Thanks for being here. You heard Adam Schiff saying that there were material changes made to this memo. So he's suggesting that things were slipped into it that they're not aware of. Is that true?
Absolutely not. I've reviewed the version of the memo that was voted on by the House Intelligence Committee and the version that was sent to the White House, and you could about hold both of them up to a lamp and they would look identical. The changes were grammatical in nature. There was a syntax change, but absolutely nothing was added to this memo that would alter its complexion, its content, or that would change the context. And I would remind Director Comey, I don't know that too many schools or streets are going to be named after him once this memo is into the public square.
All right. Well, we'll see about that. You know, in terms of the revelations that are in this memo, you just heard Ed Henry saying that Devin Nunes believes that there are substantive issues that are in this memo. Now, the pushback tonight is that it's not going to live up to the hype, that even the White House is concerned that they don't want to be too far out on a limb on this thing. You also are out on a limb. You have spoken out very strongly about this. You said it was a Watergate II, KGB-style tactics, I believe, is also something that you said. Are you standing by all those statements tonight?
I don't think those were my statements, Martha, but I do believe that there are jaw-dropping revelations about the extent to which the FBI and Department of Justice were weaponized politically to go after the folks that they didn't line up with from an ideological or electoral standpoint. That's deeply unfortunate, whether you're a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, or a Whig. And that's why I'm hopeful that the release of this memo will create a bipartisan opportunity to evaluate the type of country we want to have, the type of surveillance protocols, and the type of oversight that would stop this type of abuse from happening in the future. I would disagree with Speaker Ryan. I have a great deal of respect for him, but I think that the substance of this memo absolutely implicates senior officials at the Department of Justice and the FBI, and I think that it shows that the entire Mueller investigation should have never been started in the first place, that it is built on a false, rotten premise, and I think that the American people will agree once they have the opportunity to review this unredacted memo.
All right, so tell me, what's your confidence level that this is going to be released, and what's the time frame?
I know when I talked with the president about it at the end of the State of the Union, he turned to me and said, can you imagine if we didn't release the memo, people would be so mad. So I think the president, as usual, has his finger on the pulse of the American electorate. He knows there's an expectation that we're going to have a transparent, adult conversation about what happened in the senior levels of the FBI and Department of Justice, and then I think heads are going to roll. We already see some folks that are choosing to make career changes, and I don't think we've seen the end of it.
Are you referring to Andrew McCabe?
Andrew McCabe and Mr. Rubicki as well.
All right. So in terms of the Senate Intel Committee, some of them have expressed a desire to look at this. Why wouldn't you want them to look at it before it's released?
I have no objection to members of the Senate reviewing the memo. If they want to come on over, they just have to talk to the chairman about that.
All right. In terms of what it reveals, there's reporting that says that it will reveal that FISA was misled with the information that was presented to them. Can you confirm that?
I wish I could. Unfortunately, I can't confirm or deny the contents of the memo. I will say that the misleading of a court is a very serious offense. There are federal criminal statutes that do not allow you to use the color of law to deprive other people of rights, and the misleading of a FISA court would meet that criminal definition. I think that the American people will be very interested in the manner in which information was validated that was presented to the FISA court. It's not just about what's handed over. It's about how that information was validated and ensuring that we've got confidence that the activities of these secret courts are not prejudiced by politics.
So that suggests that they were complicit in what you're seeing. Because there's two ways to look at it. Either they were presented something that was not accurate that caused them to go ahead and allow this warrant, or they were sort of in on it, which sounds like what you're suggesting.
No. I am not suggesting that the FISA judges were in any way engaged in misconduct, but a FISA judge can only evaluate the information that's presented to them in the context in which it's presented. It's worth noting, Martha, that FISA warrants have to be reauthorized every 90 days, and so when evaluating this memo, it's not just the original application, it's what is learned along the way, and then what is either presented or omitted to the FISA court in those renewals.
Last question. Do you want to see the supporting documentation from which this memo was written also released? Because as soon as it comes out, there's going to be people trying to poke holes in it, and that supporting documentation would be valuable for everyone to see.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, Representative Lee Zeldin has taken the lead on this issue, demanding that in our letter to Chairman Nunes, signed by over 60 members of the Congress, that we included a demand for the most robust supporting information that can reasonably be released. But this memo is an opinion. It's not conjecture. It is a statement of verifiable facts, and I think that its veracity will be upheld in the court of public opinion for sure.
Congressman Matt Gaetz, thank you very much. Good to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
So from the start of the